to be in a film like this, you don't really have to worry about things like weather and stuff for your character. You just kind of have to show up to a booth and do your work.
Kind of, yeah. It's a little bit frustrating because I want to be with the cast. I want to be with these kids on location and be with them and look after them and protect them.
Right.
But it just couldn't happen, with the stuff I was doing and what they were doing. And they were in Australia. I was shooting a movie in Berlin, and I was all over the place. But so I find that a little frustrating.
But it must be nice to see them at things like last night at the Royal Gala, to just be like, oh, hi, and you get to see them.
I know.
Was it surprising? Because you probably meet them every couple of years, and
That's
they've
exactly
grown
it.
so much. It's
They've
kind
grown
of
so much. The first time I saw them a few years ago, they were, Georgie was that height, it seems. And now she's this beautiful teenager, The kids have all just grown. It's like, oh my God. And I'm a father of two kids who are 14 and 15. And within the blink of an eye, they've grown an extra 2 inches. Literally.
It must be.
So it's and I see it with these children, these wonderful actors on Narnia. It's like, wow. Last time I saw you, you were there. And now she's here,
Your voice has this, especially as Aslan, there's this, I don't know, this awesome calmness that I would love to hear you read storybooks to me before I go to sleep. I mean, so I wonder if your kids do they hear the same intonations, or do they just like, Dad, shut up?
Well, I have to tell you a story. My eldest boy, Michael, who's now 15, he turned me on to the Chronicles of Narnia at the age of 9. He had read all the books by that stage. I hadn't read any of them. And C.S. Lewis, the author of the books, is from Belfast, which is where I'm from. And I'm ashamed to say I never read them as a kid.
Why is that?
Because, I don't know, life, But when they offered me the voice of Aslan, I said to my eldest boy, I said, Michael, do you know who Aslan is? He went, oh my God, Dad, that's God. I said, what do you mean it's God? Have you read the books, Dad? I says, no. Oh, Dad, you gotta, okay, you go into my room, he's an avid reader. So he started me reading them. And then I read to them, to my two boys, when they were falling asleep. And I was like, after page 10, I was like, wow, these are really, really good books.
When you read these, because I read them when I was a kid also, and I didn't have the same kind of realization until much later that it actually had a much more spiritual kind of, Sure. So when you're reading it, did you pick up on those aspects, and then did that channel into how you performed the voice?
Well, it did, and I of course was working with a computer graphic imaging of a lion, and C.S. Lewis was a famous atheist who became a famous Christian and wrote books on Christianity and on death and grief and love brilliantly, which I still read. But he hasn't just made Aslan Christ-like, he's made him Muslim, he's Muhammad, he's Buddha. He's the figurehead of all the great religions in the world, and they still touch us as human beings. Reading these stories, they touch us in such a way that they are classic books. I think the movies are classic, and I just think it's great we're telling these tales in a cinematic form,
Does it even surprise you when you watch the final work? You know, because I'm assuming yesterday might have been the first time.
First time.
Yeah. So when you read the script, but then finally you see this work that like that is so complex and there's a lot of stuff going on. And
I know, and all these hundreds of people that have made the movie work. And the first time, for me, it was the first time I saw a film in 3D. So it was a bit weird for me to watch a film in 3D. And I had to keep putting my glasses up and keep touch with where I was, But it's beautiful. I think Michael Apted has done a really, really beautiful film and adapted the book incredibly well. The kids are extraordinary actors. I always knew that from the first film we did. And it's a great adventure. It's just a wonderful adventure, and there's lots of layers there to be analysed as regards the meaning of life. It's all there. But first and foremost, it's great entertainment.